Tozasareteru, locked shut. Tozasu is to lock something shut. Tozasareru is to be locked shut. Tozasareteru is to be in a continuing state of having been locked shut. The iru ending for Japanese verbs and participles is the equivalent of the ing ending for English verbs. Katamari, lump. Hakanai Hitomi no Ishi, stone of ephemeral eyes. Kizoku, nobility. To no Kishi, Tower Knight. Message Oyomu, read message. Honban, main event, showtime. Kurushi, painful. Kogetsu Soul, late moon grass. Kome Nasenshi no Soru, soul of a famous warrior. Kome, as we've seen before, means famous. It's composed of the kanji for high and name. When we look these characters up on gshow.org, the first character can be tall, high, or expensive, while the second character is listed as name, noted, distinguished, or reputation. So I'm commonly asked, when there's a word that is made up of multiple Chinese characters, how do we know which of the meanings are being used? The other related question is, why are there so many meanings per character? And the answer to that second question is, there aren't, at least not necessarily, not in most cases. When you think of the English word high, you probably think of it as a very simple, basic, indivisible word. That is, it has a basic meaning and not much more. Something is high versus something that is low. But the dictionary that I pull off of my bookshelf lists 17 uses as an adjective, 1 use as an adverb, and 6 as a noun. Now, if we look just at the 17 common adjective uses, you can see that there's a lot of variety in which this seemingly simple word is used. You also have to take into account that many foreign languages aren't going to feature all of these different meanings in their own expressions for their own equivalent word for high. When they want to describe a country or a civilization as being advanced technologically, they might not use an expression that would translate literally as high technology, and they would wonder why we did. They would probably wonder, well, why don't you just say that they're advanced? What's with this high tech? But despite this, we still consider the word high and the ideas that it represents to be one core concept, or at the very least, a very closely related family of concepts. All of these nuances are taken for granted, and the word high is not considered a highly sophisticated or nuanced word. The same dynamic is in effect in terms of the vast majority of Chinese characters, and that is that in the minds of the scribes that originally created these characters, and also in the minds of many modern Chinese and Japanese people who use these characters, these aren't characters that have 3 or 4 meanings. They have one core meaning that has 3 or 4 uses. So this character that has the on reading of Ko and the kun reading of Takai, it isn't one character with 3 different meanings. It's a character with one core meaning, but at least 3 different uses. Hinto. Hint. Tetsu. Iron. Nomu. Heavy fog. Kusabi no Shinden ni modorimasu ka? Return to the Nexus?
Well, you found yourself a demon soul, did you? I'm impressed. Yes, indeed I am. Stay the path, and you will soon be a monster yourself. Can't you see you've fallen for their trap? Have you seen my corporeal flesh? Has my body gone rotten? I'm sorry. Please leave me alone. Who are you? I don't remember anything.
Thank goodness you're safe. I was worried sick about you.
Shuryo. End. Both characters that make up the word Shuryo mean to end or finish. The first character has the thread to the left as its radical, and the thread to the left radical is often used in time-based expressions, especially concepts of starting, stopping, continuing, or duration.
If only something could be... We are indebted to you, for you fight on our behalf.
I can forge weapons for you, for a fair price.
Item listo. Item list.
And be thankful that I'm still of good health. And be thankful. Do come back alive, and eat your business.
At its peak, Boletaria was a grand kingdom. The king, his knights, and his subjects were modest and plain, but also steadfast and compassionate. In the distant southern kingdom, Boletaria was known as paradise on earth. But look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for our great land. Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the last hero. The two swords are Demonbrand and Soulbrand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The last hero is Old King Doran. King Doran is the Everlasting One, founder of Boletaria and protector of the two swords. Of course, only according to legend. But in the dark state of our land, legends are all we can depend upon. King Allant led Boletaria with a round table of brave knights. The royal twin Fangs, Valafax and Bjor, Alfred, the Knight of the Tower, Metas, the Knight of the Lance, and the brave tribesman Longbow Ulan and his fearsome legions. But today, Boletaria is an abysmal mess. Valafax was lost, and Bjor slipped through the fissure, never to be heard from again. All the rest, along with Boletaria, have been devoured by the fog, and will soon be prey to the demons. The Boletarian Knights are no longer. But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes, such as yourself.
Japanese adjectives fall into two broad categories. There's the I adjectives and the na adjectives. Atarashi, meaning new, is an I adjective. If you want to make a different, more complicated expression out of it, you chop off that final I and you add an inflectional ending. So if we want to say newly instead of new, we take atarashi and we make it atarashku. There's a wide variety of ways to modify adjectives like this, and it all involves first removing that final I. Na adjectives don't inflect directly. The na isn't really an ending, it's just a particle that is sandwiched between the adjective and the noun that it modifies. So for example, the na adjective shinsen, meaning fresh. If you want to say fresh fish, you say shinsen na sakana.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. I keep the cat. Art thou done? May thine strength help the world be mended.
Have you heard? If you are attacked by a demon, you will lose your humanity. Oh, what a horrible thought. Just what would happen then? I simply cannot fathom it. Masa.